Hey Capricorn. So I just sat down to do this reading for you, and honestly, I had to take a moment because what came through is something I have not seen in a very long time. Like I actually had to step away from my deck for a second because the energy here is so intense and so specific to what you are about to experience. I am not even exaggerating when I say this reading made me pause and really think about how to communicate what I am seeing, because it is that significant for your future. So, let me just start by saying that whatever you have been through up until this point, whatever struggles or doubts or moments where you felt like nothing was working out the way you wanted, all of that is about to shift in a way that is going to catch you completely off guard, and I mean that in the best possible way. The universe has been quietly setting things up behind the scenes, and you are about to walk into a chapter of your life that is going to feel like everything suddenly makes sense. Okay, so the first card that came out for you is the Ace of Cups, and I need you to understand what this means in the context of your future. This is not just about a new emotional beginning or feeling good about something. This card is showing me that you are standing at the edge of receiving something so pure and so genuine that it is going to completely transform how you view love, connection, and emotional fulfillment. Think about all the times you have been disappointed or let down by people or situations that promised so much but delivered so little. That entire pattern is being washed away right now. What I am seeing with this Ace of Cups is that there is a person or an opportunity coming into your life that is going to overflow with the kind of emotional richness you have been craving but maybe stopped believing was real. This is the kind of connection where you do not have to second guess anything. You know when you meet someone and there is just this immediate sense of rightness, like your soul recognizes them even though you just met. That is what this card is promising you, and the timing on this is closer than you think. I am talking about within the next few months, you are going to encounter this energy, and it is going to feel like coming home to yourself. But here is the really interesting part about this Ace of Cups. It is not just showing up randomly. The universe is bringing this to you specifically because you have done the inner work, whether you realize it or not. All those moments where you chose yourself, where you set boundaries, where you walked away from things that were not serving you, those were not wasted efforts. They were preparing you to receive something this profound. And what makes this even more powerful is that this new beginning is not going to require you to shrink yourself or compromise who you are. This is about someone or something meeting you at your level and saying, yes, this is exactly what I want. I am also seeing with this card that there might be multiple areas of your life where this emotional renewal shows up. It could be in romantic love, obviously, but it could also be in creative projects that you pour your heart into, or in friendships that finally feel reciprocal and nourishing. The Ace of Cups does not limit itself to just one expression. It is pure emotional potential, and it is looking for places to land in your life where it can grow into something beautiful and lasting now. The second card is the Chariot, and this is where things get really interesting, because this card is all about forward momentum and decisive action. What I am picking up here is that you are not just going to be a passive recipient of good things. You are going to be actively driving your life in the direction you want it to go, with a level of confidence and determination that might surprise even you. The Chariot is telling me that you are entering a phase where you know exactly what you want, and you are not going to let anything or anyone stand in your way of getting it. This card often shows up when someone has spent a long time feeling stuck or unsure about which direction to take, and then suddenly everything clicks into place and they can see the path forward with total clarity. That is what is happening for you. All the confusion and uncertainty you might have been experiencing is about to lift, and you are going to find yourself moving forward with purpose and intention. And the best part is that this movement is not frantic or desperate. It is controlled and powerful, like you are steering your own ship through waters that you now understand how to navigate. What I find really significant about the Chariot in your reading is that it suggests you are going to be balancing multiple aspects of your life simultaneously and doing it well. Maybe you have been worried about how you are going to manage your career ambitions while also making space for personal relationships or creative pursuits. This card is saying that not only can you do both, but you are going to excel at it. You are going to find a way to harness all the different energies in your life and direct them toward your goals in a way that feels sustainable and actually enjoyable. There is also something here about victory and recognition. The Chariot does not just move forward for the sake of movement, it moves forward and wins. So whatever you have been working toward, whether that is a professional milestone or a personal achievement, you are going to reach it and people are going to take notice. This is not about showing off or needing external validation, but it is nice when your efforts are recognized and appreciated, and that is absolutely coming for you. The third card is the Eight of Swords, and I know this might seem like it contradicts what I just said about moving forward, but stay with me because this card is actually giving you incredibly important information about what you need to release in order to fully step into your future. The Eight of Swords shows up when we are trapped by our own thoughts and beliefs more than by any actual external circumstances. You might be telling yourself stories about why certain things are not possible for you or why you do not deserve the kind of happiness that is trying to come in. What this card is revealing is that there is a mental prison you have been living in, and you might not even fully realize it because it has become so familiar. Maybe you have convinced yourself that you are just being realistic or practical, when actually you are just protecting yourself from disappointment by keeping your expectations low. The Eight of Swords is saying that this protective mechanism has outlived its usefulness, and it is now actually blocking you from receiving what the universe is trying to give you. I am seeing that this mental trap has a lot to do with past experiences where you opened yourself up and got hurt, or where you tried something, and it did not work out the way you hoped. Those experiences taught you to be cautious and guarded, and while that served a purpose at the time, it is now creating unnecessary limitations. The really fascinating thing about the Eight of Swords is that the bindings are loose. You can actually free yourself anytime you choose to. It is just a matter of recognizing that the prison is self-imposed. So what does this look like practically? It might mean challenging the negative self-talk that comes up when you think about pursuing what you really want. It might mean questioning the beliefs you have internalized about what is possible for someone like you. It might mean being willing to look foolish or vulnerable in pursuit of something that matters to you. The Eight of Swords is asking you to examine where you are holding yourself back and to make the conscious choice to remove those blinders and see the reality, which is that you have way more options and way more power than you have been allowing yourself to acknowledge. And here is why this card is so important in the context of your reading. The beautiful things that are coming to you with the Ace of Cups in the Chariot can only fully land if you are willing to step out of this mental prison. The universe is preparing to deliver, but you have to be in a position to receive, and that means clearing out the old programming that says you are not worthy or that good things do not happen to you, or whatever limiting belief has been running the show. The fourth card is the Nine of Wands, and this is giving me chills because it is speaking to everything you have already survived and overcome to get to this point. This card shows someone who has been through battle after battle and is still standing. You are tired, Capricorn. I am not going to sugarcoat that. You have been fighting for so long, whether that is fighting for your dreams, or fighting to protect yourself, or fighting to just get through each day, and that takes a toll. The Nine of Wands acknowledges that fatigue and that weariness that comes from being tested repeatedly. But here is what makes this card so powerful in your reading. It is not saying that more battles are coming. It is saying that you have developed an incredible resilience and strength that is now going to serve you in a completely different way. All those challenges you faced were not random or meaningless. They were forging you into someone who can handle the level of success and happiness that is about to come into your life. Because here is the truth that people do not talk about enough. It actually takes strength to receive good things and to believe you deserve them and to not sabotage them when they show up. The Nine of Wands is telling me that you are entering a phase where you can finally put down your defenses without feeling vulnerable. You do not have to be on guard all the time anymore. You have proven to yourself and to the universe that you can handle whatever comes your way. So now you can relax a little bit and actually enjoy what you have been working so hard to create. This does not mean becoming careless or naive. It means recognizing that you are strong enough to let your guard down with the right people and in the right situations. There is also something here about learning to trust again after having your trust broken multiple times. The Nine of Wands suggests that while you might approach new situations with healthy caution, you are not going to let past hurts prevent you from opening up to new possibilities. You have learned the lessons you needed to learn, and now you get to move forward with wisdom, but not with bitterness. That is a really beautiful place to be, and it is exactly where you are right now. What I find really moving about the Nine of Wands in your spread is that it is honoring your journey. It is saying, I see what you have been through, and I see that you did not give up, and I see that you kept going even when it would have been easier to quit. And because you kept going, you are now positioned to receive rewards that are going to make all of that struggle feel worth it. Not because the struggle was necessary, but because you alchemized it into strength and wisdom that you now get to use to build the life you actually want. The fifth card is the Hierophant, and this is where your reading takes a really interesting turn because this card is all about tradition, commitment, and spiritual or ethical foundations. What I am picking up here is that something in your life is about to become more formal or official in a way that brings you a deep sense of security and belonging. The Hierophant often shows up when we are ready to make commitments, whether that is in relationships or career, or to a particular path or belief system. For many Capricorns, this card is going to represent a significant relationship moving to the next level. I am talking about engagements, marriages, or at the very least a conversation where you both decide you are building something together for the long term. The Hierophant does not do casual. It is about creating structures and traditions that have staying power. So if you have been wondering whether that person you are interested in or already with is serious about you, this card is a resounding yes. Not only are they serious, but they are thinking about forever. But the Hierophant can also represent other kinds of commitments. Maybe you are going to commit to a particular career path, or spiritual practice, or creative endeavor in a way that feels sacred and important. There is something about making a vow or a promise that seals your intention and tells the universe, this is what I am devoted to, and I am going to honor this commitment. That level of dedication is what the Hierophant brings, and it is incredibly powerful because it transforms something from a passing interest into a foundational element of your life. I am also seeing with this card that you might be seeking guidance or mentorship from someone who has walked the path you want to walk. The Hierophant represents teachers and wisdom keepers who can show you the way forward based on their own experience. This could be a literal mentor in your field, or it could be a spiritual teacher or therapist or someone else who has knowledge you need. The key thing is that you are going to be open to learning and receiving guidance in a way that maybe you have not been before because you are ready to move beyond what you can figure out on your own. There is also an element here of following the rules or doing things the right way, not because you have to, but because you genuinely believe in the value of structure and tradition. Maybe in the past you have resisted certain conventions because they felt restrictive, but now you are going to see how the right structures can actually create freedom and support growth. The Hierophant is about finding the sweet spot between honoring tradition and making it your own. The sixth card is the Six of Swords, and this is such a hopeful card because it represents transition and moving away from troubled waters into calmer, more peaceful territory. Whatever turbulence or difficulty you have been dealing with is coming to an end. You are literally sailing away from the storm and heading toward a place where you can finally rest and recover and think clearly again. The Six of Swords is that exhale moment where you realize, okay, I made it through that, and now things are going to be easier. What I love about this card in your reading is that it shows the transition is gentle. You are not being forcefully ejected from your current situation. Instead, you are mindfully and deliberately choosing to move on, and the universe is supporting that choice. Maybe you have been tolerating circumstances that were not good for you because you felt stuck or because you did not see another option. The Six of Swords is saying that now you can see the path forward, and you have the resources and support you need to take it. This card often comes up when someone is healing from a difficult period, whether that is a breakup, or a job loss, or just a season of life that was really challenging. The Six of Swords acknowledges that, while you can never completely leave the past behind, you can integrate the lessons and move forward with a lighter load. You are not going to be dragging all your old pain and trauma into your new beginning. You are going to process what needs to be processed and then consciously choose to focus on building something better. There is also something here about seeking peace and creating space for quiet reflection. You have been in reactive mode for a while, dealing with whatever life has been throwing at you, and now you are going to have the opportunity to be proactive and intentional about what you want to create next. The Six of Swords gives you permission to slow down and catch your breath, and really think about where you want to go from here, without the pressure of immediate crisis demanding your attention. I am seeing that this transition might involve physical relocation for some of you, or it could be more of an internal shift where your mindset and emotional state change dramatically. Either way, you are moving from a place of struggle to a place of greater ease, and that movement is already in progress. You might have already started to feel the energy shifting, as things that were difficult start to resolve themselves, or as you start to see new possibilities emerging that were not visible before. The seventh card is the Knight of Swords, and this energy is fast. Like whatever has been slowly building is about to accelerate in a way that might take your breath away. The Knight of Swords charges forward with absolute conviction and clarity, cutting through any obstacles or confusion with sharp, decisive action. This card is telling me that you are about to receive information or communication that changes everything. It could be a message you have been waiting for, or an opportunity that comes out of nowhere, or a sudden realization about what you need to do next. What makes the Knight of Swords so powerful is the mental clarity and determination it brings. If you have been going back and forth about something, or trying to figure out what the right move is, this card says that confusion is about to evaporate. You are going to know with absolute certainty what needs to happen, and you are going to have the courage to act on that knowledge, even if it feels risky or uncomfortable. The Knight of Swords does not second guess. Once the path is clear, the action is immediate. This could manifest in so many different ways depending on what is going on in your life. Maybe you are going to have a crucial conversation that you have been avoiding, where you finally speak your truth without holding back. Maybe you are going to make a bold career move that everyone else thinks is crazy, but you know in your bones is right. Maybe you are going to end something that has been dragging on because you suddenly see it clearly for what it is. Whatever form this takes, the energy is swift and definitive. I'm also picking up that this Knight of Swords energy might come through another person. Someone could enter your life who challenges you intellectually and pushes you to think bigger and move faster. This person might be charming and exciting, but also a little bit intense because they do not have time for games or superficiality. They want deep conversations and real connection, and they are going to be direct about what they want. If you have been surrounded by wishy-washy people who cannot make decisions, this night is going to be a breath of fresh air even if they occasionally overwhelm you with their intensity. Asterisk. The key with the Knight of Swords is to harness that fast-moving energy without letting it run away with you. Yes, move quickly when the path is clear, but also make sure you are moving towards something you actually want and not just away from discomfort. The Knight of Swords can sometimes be so eager to take action that they do not fully think through the consequences. So use that mental clarity and courage, but pair it with wisdom and discernment. The 8th card is the Ace of Wands, and oh my goodness, Capricorn, do you see what is happening here? This is pure, creative, and passionate potential bursting into your life. The Ace of Wands is like a lightning bolt of inspiration and motivation that makes you feel alive and excited about what is possible. This is the beginning of a new project or passion or creative endeavor that is going to light you up from the inside. After all, the heaviness and struggle represented by some of the other cards, this Ace of Wands is pure joy and enthusiasm. Asterisk. What I am seeing here is that you are about to discover or rediscover something that makes you feel like yourself again. Maybe you have been so caught up in responsibilities and obligations that you forgot what it feels like to be genuinely excited about something. The Ace of Wands is bringing that feeling back. This could be a new hobby or creative outlet, or it could be a business idea that you are suddenly passionate about pursuing. Whatever form it takes, this new beginning is going to feel energizing rather than depleting. There is also a romantic and sensual dimension to the Ace of Wands that I cannot ignore. This card can represent the spark of new attraction or the reigniting of passion in an existing relationship. That electric feeling when you connect with someone and you just cannot stop thinking about them. That is Ace of Wands energy. Or if you are already in a relationship, this card suggests you are about to enter a phase where things feel fresh and exciting again, like when you first got together. What makes this Ace of Wands particularly powerful in your reading is the timing. It is coming after cards about healing and transition and making commitments, which suggests that this burst of creative, passionate energy is not going to be frivolous or fleeting. You are going to be able to channel it into something that has real staying power because you have done the groundwork. This is not about chasing shiny objects. This is about genuine inspiration that aligns with your deeper values and long-term goals. I am also picking up that this Ace of Wands represents the kind of confidence and charisma that makes other people want to be around you. You are going to be radiating positive energy and enthusiasm, and that is going to attract opportunities and people who want to support your vision. The Ace of Wands is magnetic. It draws to you whatever you need to bring your ideas to life. 9th card is the Moon, and I have to tell you, this is one of the most mystical and complex cards in the deck, so pay attention because what it is revealing about your future is significant. The Moon represents the realm of intuition, dreams, the subconscious, and all the things that exist beneath the surface of conscious awareness. This card is telling me that you are entering a phase where your intuitive abilities are going to be heightened dramatically. You might start having vivid dreams that give you information, or you might just have strong gut feelings about people and situations that turn out to be absolutely accurate. What the Moon is asking you to do is trust your inner knowing, even when it does not make logical sense. Your rational mind is going to want concrete proof and clear explanations, but the Moon operates in a different realm, where truth is felt rather than thought. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially for you as a Capricorn, because you tend to prefer things you can see and measure and prove. But the universe is inviting you to expand beyond that, and to honor the wisdom that comes from your intuition and your subconscious mind. The Moon also warns about illusions and things not being what they seem. Not in a scary way, but more like you need to look deeper and not take everything at face value. Someone might be presenting a certain image, or a situation might appear one way on the surface, but there are hidden depths or hidden motivations that you need to be aware of. Your heightened intuition is going to help you see through any deception or confusion and get to what is really true. There is something really beautiful about having the Moon in a reading about your future because it suggests you are going to be more in touch with the mysterious and magical aspects of life. You might develop an interest in tarot or astrology or other metaphysical practices. You might find yourself drawn to creative pursuits that allow you to express the deeper, more mysterious parts of yourself. The Moon asks you to embrace uncertainty and to find beauty in the unknown rather than trying to control and predict everything. I am also seeing that the Moon can represent a time of emotional depth and sensitivity. You might find yourself feeling things more intensely than usual, and that is okay. That is actually a sign that you are processing and releasing old emotional material that has been stored in your subconscious. The Moon brings things up to the surface so they can be healed. So if you find yourself having unexpected emotional reactions or old memories coming up, do not judge yourself. Just let it move through you and trust that there is a reason this is happening now. The 10th and final card is Strength, and I could not have asked for a better card to complete your reading because this is what everything has been building toward. Strength is not about force or aggression. It is about the quiet confidence and inner power that comes from knowing who you are and what you are capable of. This card is telling me that you are stepping into a version of yourself that is unshakable. You have been through the fire, and instead of being destroyed by it, you have been refined into something stronger and more beautiful. What I love about Strength in your reading is that it represents mastery over yourself. You are not going to be controlled by fear or anger or any other emotion that used to run the show. You are going to have the ability to observe what you are feeling and then choose how you want to respond. That level of emotional maturity and self-control is incredibly powerful, and it is going to transform every area of your life. Strength also speaks to the way you relate to others. Instead of trying to dominate or control people, you are going to approach relationships with gentleness and compassion while still maintaining firm boundaries. You are going to know when to be soft and when to be firm. You are going to be able to tame the wild parts of yourself and others through love and patience rather than through force. That is true strength. This card is also about courage, but not the kind of courage that looks like bravado. This is the courage to be vulnerable and authentic and to pursue what you really want, even if it means risking failure or rejection. Strength gives you the inner fortitude to face your fears and move forward anyway. All those moments of doubt and insecurity are going to lose their power over you, because you will have connected to a source of strength that is deeper and more reliable than any external circumstance. I am seeing that this strength energy is going to manifest in very practical ways. Maybe you are going to have difficult conversations with grace and composure. Maybe you are going to persist with a goal even when progress is slow because you trust in your ability to eventually succeed. Maybe you are going to handle a crisis with calm confidence that puts everyone around you at ease. Whatever challenges come up, you are going to meet them from a place of inner strength that cannot be shaken. Asterisk. So Capricorn, when I look at this entire reading, what I see is a complete transformation of your life from the inside out. You have the Ace of Cups bringing in pure emotional fulfillment and new beginnings in love and connection. The Chariot is giving you the momentum and clarity to move forward powerfully toward your goals. The Eight of Swords is revealing the mental limitations you need to release so you can receive everything that is coming. The Nine of Wands honors everything you have survived and overcome and confirms you are strong enough for what is next. The Hierophant brings sacred commitments and meaningful structure. The Six of Swords carries you away from turbulent times into peaceful waters. The Knight of Swords delivers swift clarity and decisive action. The Ace of Wands ignites creative and passionate potential. The Moon deepens your intuition and connection to the mystical. And Strength confirms that you are becoming an unstoppable force of calm, confident power. This is not a reading about small, incremental changes. This is about a fundamental shift in who you are and what your life looks like. And the most important thing I want you to understand is that this is not something you have to chase or force or make happen through sheer willpower. This is already in motion. The universe has set the wheels turning, and your job is to stay open and aligned and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Asterisk. There might be moments in the coming months where you feel overwhelmed by how fast things are moving, or how much is changing all at once. That is normal and expected when you are going through this level of transformation. Just remember to breathe and to stay connected to that inner strength that the last card is promising you. You are not going to fall apart. You are not going to fail. You are going to rise to meet every challenge and opportunity with a grace and power that surprises even you. Asterisk. I also want to acknowledge that while this reading is incredibly positive, there is still work for you to do. The Eight of Swords asks you to examine and release limiting beliefs. The Moon asks you to trust your intuition, even when it is uncomfortable. The Nine of Wands asks you to be brave enough to put down your defenses and receive the good that is coming. These are not passive processes. They require conscious choice and courage. But I have absolute faith that you are up for the task because everything in this reading tells me you are ready. Asterisk. One last thing I want to mention is about timing because I know that is often what people want to know. When is all of this going to happen? Based on the energy I am picking up from these cards, I would say you are already in the early stages of this transformation. Some of you might have already noticed subtle shifts starting to occur. The full unfolding is going to take place over the next several months, with some significant milestones or turning points likely to occur around major astrological transits that affect your sign. Pay attention to moments when you feel that spark of recognition like, yes, this is what the cards were talking about. Those are your signposts along the way. And finally, Capricorn, I just want to say that I am genuinely excited for you. The future that these cards are showing is one of love and strength and creative fulfillment and deep inner peace. You have earned this through every challenge you have faced and every time you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. The universe sees you and it is about to show you just how much magic is possible when you align with your highest path. Trust the process, trust yourself, and get ready because your life is about to get really, really good.